so there's a red up on the top of my screen. It's counting off 3 seconds. Then it should show over there and show up here. So let's see, I want to come over to here and see what I did. Okay, there's the both of us. There's that one. And then I'll come back to the both of us, and that is this button. There you are. Hi, Bert. Bertland, can you hear me? Your microphone is muted. What's going on?
Yes,
there you go.
Yes, loud and clear, loud and clear.
Okay, so you were still trying to make some adjustments to what you were trying to do. Are you settled now?
Yes.
You got it figured out what you're going to do? Okay.
Yes.
Because you were trying to do a crazy thing. You were trying to live stream to Facebook while we're doing this live stream. Okay, so are you actually doing that, or did you drop that because you're having some difficulty with it?
All right, so we're actually doing that, and I stopped it a while ago because I wanted to make sure that everything was running smooth because the sound was having a problem. So yeah, let's just.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, then let's go ahead and get started. Now, I'm seeing over here on this monitor, it's really looking blurry. So I see, hi Ken in the chat. Ken, how does the video look to you? Is it okay? Because I got my YouTube reception computer that's playing it is down to 144 on auto. If I switch that, 1080, it came out okay. So Ken, I'd like to hear from you or whoever else is in the chat. Is the video coming out okay and the audio? Let's see. Let me hear this audio over here. Yep, I can hear the audio. It's working. Ken says good, but not excellent. Well, that's just because I'm not pretty enough. Bertland is.
Ha! Kathrin is. Kathrin is the pretty one. She's the pretty one.
Yes, there you go. There you go. So then I see Tim and Guard Tactic. That's you. That's Bertland. Yeah. And then Dan the Man and Tim again. They're saying video's okay, looks and sound okay. Okay, well, let's going, huh? So you sent an email with 2 or 3 topics, and I've got a couple of topics. So let's start by just going over our potential topics and see where you want to go with this. You're the star of the show here. So let's see, you said, so we can catch up with each other and share how our week has been going because you've had an adventurous week.
Yes.
And then your client Romaine and you are going to go hunting for a case and power supply soon. She's going to initiate that or determine when you guys are going to do that.
Yes.
And then you had something this last week at your work called IP week, not IT.
IP.
So IP, intellectual property, because that's your job. And but you work in IT for this IP institution, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's got to be confusing. So intellectual property for IP. Yes. And information technology for IT, which is what we call ourselves when we're supporting computer systems generically. Okay. So then, those are the things on your list. Let me tell you a couple things on my list. I would like for us to spend some time talking about rebranding. Yes. I've got 3 stories of my own rebranding. And I want to suggest you consider rebranding, but that's just going to be based upon my stories. If they get you interested in considering rebranding, I'm bringing this up now because the easiest time to do a rebranding is when you're starting.
Yes.
So I want to ask you some questions about your brand and see how you feel about it moving forward.
Yes.
Then another potential topic is to review the parts list because it's changed a little bit once Kathrin found out the specific model of CPU that you're getting. I'm not sure that that's really important for us to discuss at this point, but I'm going to let you choose that because you know more. Frankly, to be honest, I haven't even looked at the change, and I think it was probably not a huge deal because it was just about the specific model of the CPU made a change. So then there's the let's see, IP week. Okay, then the other thing from my on my list is I'd like to bring up the subject of another approach for you seeking new clients for your business. The approach that you already used once, and that turned up your first client, was where you put out there a story of a hypothetical client support situation, and that very quickly got you your first client. Well, I've got another approach I'd like to put into your mind that I'd like for you to consider. So with those topics in mind, what jumps out at you that you want to start with?
Well, can we start with rebranding and then we can roll into my stuff? I want to hear exactly what you have to say and the questions you have to ask. I'd really love to hear more about that.
Okay.
Please.
Very good. Very good. So I've got 3 stories of rebranding of my own that will kind of help illustrate the point.
Yes.
When I started my business as self-employed in 1992,
yes,
I had just finished working for another company. I had worked for 2 other companies before I started my own business, where I was substantially making my full-time income from computer skills.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into all the details about that because that just takes us down a long story road that doesn't serve the point. It doesn't serve the purpose. When I started my business, it was unexpected. I was not planning to do it. It's a little ambiguous as to whether I was technically fired or resigned at the owner's request, but we had a very substantial difference of opinions or what you might say, and it was clear that I needed to not be working there anymore. He needed me to not be working there anymore. I would have been fine continuing with that, and I would prefer to stay with that company if he would have been okay with what I wanted, and same way vice versa. So it was just an impasse. So I wasn't expecting to start my own business. So I filed after the job was over and I was figuring out what am I going to do. I said, I want to try doing this on my own. So I filed a fictitious business name and got a relative of mine to design a letterhead and an envelope so I could do billing. And I started working on some advertisement. Well, the fictitious business name I filed as Computer Ace Consulting. Okay, so the middle word is ACE. And the reason why I did that is because I was trying to get a business name that would fit in the white pages under the word computer, but be at the beginning of the list. So I wanted the second word to begin with an A. And what I came up was the word ACE. So I filed the fictitious business name. I had my relative design a letterhead for that. And then when I was just about to place the order for the letterhead, I realized, no, that's not good. That's not a good name. So right then, on the spot, I remember it was happened the same day. I didn't deliberate over it. I came up with the name Computer Age Consulting. So the second word is AGE instead of ACE. So it still starts with the letter A. Now, the reason why I did that is because I thought calling myself a computer ace was kind of pretentious. It just felt a little over the top arrogant, Didn't really fit the way I felt about myself at the time.
Yeah.
And even if it had, I think it's just a poor choice.
Yeah.
But computer age, keep in mind this is 1992. A lot of business owners around that time were not really using computers in their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So in their minds, perhaps this is kind of
computer age.
Coming into the computer age.
Yeah.
And somehow the age of Aquarius was always in my mind just because that's where the age of Aquarius. It has nothing to do with computers, but So I turned on a dime and changed it to Computer Age Consulting. And I thought, when somebody sees that business name in a listing somewhere, maybe a membership listing on a Chamber of Commerce ambassadors membership, or we had another thing called, what was that other one called? I don't even remember right now. But I was figuring, as I join these various community organizations, my name shows up and my business name, Computer Age Consulting. If somebody is in need of help with their computers and they see that business name, would they possibly think that might be a solution for me?
Yes.
Because they named Computer Age Consulting. So thinking of the name of the business so that whenever it shows up on a membership list or a telephone directory or whatever, wherever it might show up incidentally, and in advertisements, are my best potential customers or clients, when they see that, are they going to think that might be a solution to my pain, to my problem? Now, let me go on to my next rebranding. My channel name, my YouTube channel name, I've been considering changing it.
Yes.
Now, it's already been through a couple of revisions. When I first started putting out YouTube videos, I did it under my personal channel, DougBetts. In fact, it still is active. If you go to that, in fact, once Carey Holzman started talking about the fact that I have a YouTube channel, a lot of people went and found that channel and subscribed to it. So its subscriber numbers has increased. I didn't intend that, but it has some early versions of what I'm now calling Tech Tales episodes. And you can see my growth between that and now. But really the point is, back then I was thinking, once I discovered Carey Holzman's channel, I was thinking, that's the solution. I want to do live support with people during live streams, because that's what Carey was doing, live real computer work during live streams. And there were a couple others doing that with cell phones, smartphones. And I didn't know back then, but there are a couple other channels at least doing live computer work. Okay, so, and I think a lot of people are drawn to live streams. They like that. So I realized I want to have the word live in my channel name. I want to have the word Windows because it's, that's what I do. It really support Windows computer environments. And then I had the word training. And I figured at least some of what I'll be doing is I'll have somebody on Zoom with me, and it'll be a training session how to do such and such. But I'm squirming a little bit with that word. I don't like it a whole lot. So I finally came up with another word that I like better, I think. So now I'm floating it. I'm testing the waters by announcing it here. And it's quite possible somebody watching this video a year from now, and they're hearing me say my channel name is Live Windows Training, they might say, no, it's not, because maybe I will have changed it by then. Maybe I will have changed it by next week. I don't know. I also have a domain name, a website called LiveWindowsTraining.com.
Yes.
I don't talk about that very much because it's kind of ignored right now and left aside. Another reason why I have the word training is because I very, very much want to help new IT businesses such as you.
Thank you.
But the word training doesn't really imply that. So the new name that I'm considering is Live Windows Support, because that kind of fits more what I've been doing, at least when I get somebody on live with me, to provide free computer support. And that's the way that I've kind of pitched it. And Live Windows Support is just kind of feeling better to me. Now, I haven't thought about the acronym yet. So that's LWS.
S, yeah.
That's
versus
okay.
LWT.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that.
Now, when I first realized
LWS,
when I realized Live Windows Training was LWT, somehow it appealed to me that's similar to LTT. LWT, LTT. LTT is Linus Tech Tips.
Ah.
And I thought, would there be any follow or carryover? Would people feel comfort with LWT just because the reputation LTT? I don't know if I don't think that's a thing. But anyway, so that's what I'm thinking. Live Windows support. So now my point for bringing this up is to talk about the thought process of what impact does it make when a potential viewer sees a channel name called Live Windows Support. Now, my Live Windows Support -DougBetts. Now, the reason why that's so long, some of the YouTube gurus say that's too long of a name. But when I go onto another channel and leave a comment, or any other place where my channel name shows up, Live Windows Support or Live Windows Training-DougBetts, if there's somebody that sees that name that has a problem with their computer, could they possibly think that might be a solution to my pain? Could they come and check me out because of that?
Would you have LWS or would you have Live Windows Support? Or would you
the channel name would be Live Windows Support. Now, the only reason for the acronym is that once I reached 100 subscribers, I was able to create a custom URL for YouTube.
There you go.
So currently my custom URL is www.youtube.com/LWTDB.
Aha.
So that's the 5-letter acronym.
Yeah.
LWT I couldn't get. It's already taken.
Okay.
And LWS is probably already taken too.
Yeah.
But LWSDB is probably going to be good.
Yes.
Probably not taken. I don't know.
I don't know.
Now, it would mean also probably that I would change the domain name for my channel, which would also mean I would change the domain name for my email address. Instead of DougBetts@LiveWindowsTraining.com, it would be DougBetts@LiveWindowsSupport.com.
Yes.
Well, I'm still early in the development of this channel. Yes. It would be a pain in the neck to make this change, but it's a whole lot easier to make this change now than 2 or 3 years from now. And will making this change help my channel grow quicker? I think it might.
I will leave that one up to you.
I don't know.
I like the name change. I think what Linus did also, what I realized that he has Linus Tech Tips, so at the end he has the double T's. He has double T's at the end. So it's Linus LTT.
Yeah. Well, that's not his only channel name. I think Linus Tech Tips is one of his.
He has a lot. He has
channels.
a lot.
He has a lot.
He's a lot.
Yeah. The reason I'm bringing this up is I want to ask you, your business name right now is Guard Tactic?
Yes, it is.
Okay, now consider this. We went through a story with Tracy for you to attract a customer. Let's talk about another story.
Yes.
Let's say a person that owns a small business or even a home computer user.
Yes.
That might be a potential new client for you.
Yes.
If they see if they come across your business name Guard Tactics somewhere, are they going to see just that word without seeing any other of your advertisement? Just that word. Is that going to make them think that might be a solution to my pain? That might be a person I want to get to know.
It sounds more of a security name than a support name.
Yeah, it does. Now, I have no idea how you came up with selecting that, But my point is in branding and marketing, especially a new business, you should be using every angle to get that additional 3% of business, that additional 3% from every place, every direction you can.
Yes.
So I don't want you to make a decision now during this video. I just want to plant the seed for you to think
about
what would be a name that would be cool, that would be attracted, that would attract the potential clients that I want. You would not want to come up with a name that would attract businesses that have 100 computers and high security needs. I don't think that's the market you want to be in right now. Is that right?
No.
Okay. So you want to think about those individual home users and the small businesses. I'm thinking that's probably where you would be most comfortable and competent at this point.
Yeah.
And frankly, that's when I say most comfortable and competent at this point, I have no intention of going beyond that
point.
I don't want to be. I do not want to support those big businesses.
Yeah.
That's a type of work style for a computer technician I just don't want to be in.
Yeah.
So along with that, there's another piece that kind of would fit in with what you're already doing, and that would be the other marketing idea. Now, before we move on to the other marketing idea about how to attract more new customers or clients, do you want to talk any more about the rebranding concept, or have I said enough for you to have food for thought?
You have said enough. I really appreciate what you have said. And about my name, actually, you're not the first person to say something to me about that name. Somebody else has said something to me about that name. And I have a thing. I was kind of modeling your thing, and I have a thing that I'm working with. I've been saying computer life support a lot. I don't know how that sounds, but I like it. You know, I made a jingle out of it.
Okay.
And somebody, you know what? I made a jingle out of it, right? I said, at the end of the ad, the story, at the end of the ad, I said, computer life support, computer life support, computer life support. And you know that somebody sent me a DM saying that same thing. So I said, you know, say something about that thing. I saw that thing on Mr. Beast channel. Sorry, I'm not digging up Mr. Beast, but I was analyzing how he was doing his videos, right? And at the end of his video, he has this thing where he says, Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast, and he has some big explosion. And I was wondering why, and it's the repetition. It's the repetition of his channel name. Isn't it? So you say it 3 times, it does something.
Yes.
So, yeah. I don't know. So I was just trying that out and it worked. So yeah, big ups.
Okay, so you were already considering computer live support.
Life.
Computer life, LIF, even better, computer life support. Because computers that's
part of your life.
We're in the computer life now.
Yeah.
You got computers everywhere you go. Computer life. I love that. So let's take let's see, Tony.
Yes.
Tony has a small business. He runs out of his home, and he's barely able to get along with his computer. His small business could be lawn mowing.
Yes.
Could be steam cleaning carpets for people.
Yes.
But he's got his computer at home, and he uses that same computer for a little bit of gaming.
Yes.
Maybe his kids use that computer too. And he comes across issues with his computers that he just struggles with.
Yes.
And then if he stumbles across your business name, Computer Life Support, oh man, that fits.
Yeah.
I think he'd be jumping on that.
Yeah.
Let me catch up with chat.
All right.
Not a whole lot here. Let's see, people responding about the video and audio. Viv, hi Viv, you made it in. She says, hi Doug, cannot believe I got a live show. It's 5:20 a.m. I just got up. I think this is your best series. Viv, let me point out to you that tomorrow's session with Carey Holzman is going to be 4 hours later than this show. Now I'm saying that because she sent me an email thinking my session with Carey was going to be while she's asleep. And I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be four hours later start time than this show. So Viv, you should be able to be with us. And then Ken says, if you change your YouTube name, do you have to start over with subscribers or does it carry over to your new name? That's a wonderful question, and I absolutely know the correct answer. If you change your YouTube name, your current subscribers and views do come with you because I've already done it. Let me explain how I did it. When I wanted to come up with that URL, so that you could do youtube.com/LWTDB. The way to do that, the only way I know that you have to do that, is I had to change my channel name from LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts to LWTDB. I actually did change my channel name to that in order to create the URL. 5 minutes later, after the URL was created, I changed my channel name back to LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts. Now it seems to me that there's a limit to how many times you can change a channel name, and I think that is to restrict the activities of trollers. You know, trollers will come into a channel. You know, this has been a headache on Carey's channel. The YouTube trolls will come in and they'll just do all kinds of trash comments in the chat. My channel's not big enough yet to attract them, but I've got plans for them when they show up. So we'll have fun then. Yeah, we're gonna have fun before then, but I mean, it's weird. It's weird for a person to be looking forward to the trolls. That's a sick and twisted.
We have plans for you guys. Be warned.
I have plans for the trolls. I hope I didn't just invite them because I'm really not eager for them to come.
Knocking on wood over here.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was knocking on wood over here. So you say it.
Okay. So yes, you can change your channel name, but I think there's a limit to how many times you can do it. Viv says, great news. I'm sure that is referring to 4 hours later for Carey's time with us tomorrow. And you're saying thanks to everybody for showing up. Guard tactic, for the people who aren't aware, that is you.
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we?
Renaming channel names and trolls. You were talking about the amount of times you could rename your channel name. So you were responding to somebody in the chat, and then
So we've finished all that. So now I'd like to move on to my suggestion for the next.
You were actually talking about Tony, the home user.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Tony. Yeah, the home user. He's got his small business, and he's struggling with it.
Yeah.
And if he sees your name, whether it's in advertising or anywhere else, of computer life support,
right?
Will he realize that might be a solution to his pain? Nice to meet you too. How are you today?
Siri again.
Did I say something that woke her up?
Computer life support woke her up.
I don't know.
Maybe it did.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think we're done with that piece because that was the story of Tony. I'm just pointing out, think of your potential new clients out there when they see any piece, any portion of your advertisement, including your business name, will they realize that might be a solution that I need? And I think your idea of
Computer live
support would do that a whole lot better than Guard Tactic does, because it sounds like security. It sounds like the person to call if you want security cameras installed.
Yeah. It does. It actually does. It has a shield. You know, it has a shield.
Your logo has a shield. So does that shield appeal to Tony? Only if he feels like his computer security is at risk, but I find very, very few small businesses or individuals are highly conscientious about security. So I don't think that's what they're looking for. I don't think they're going to jump on that. So now let me say this piece. You may have spent a lot of time in developing that logo and that name. You may have some time invested into it.
No big deal.
Not a big deal. Good. I'm glad you have that perspective, because there are a lot of things in starting a new business where sometimes a new business operator will be reluctant to change something that they know they ought to change just because they've made a big investment. They've put a lot of time and effort into it. You've got to look at that time and effort and money as a learning experience, as a growing experience.
Yes.
And an experience under your belt. And don't let that tie you down to something that's going to hold you back.
Exactly.
Now, like when I did my change from Computer Ace Consulting to Computer Age Consulting, when I was telling the story, I implied that I had made that change before ordering the letterhead. I'm not entirely certain that I did that. It's possible that I had actually already purchased the letterhead. Look, that was, 30 years ago, 28 years, something like that. 29 years ago, I guess. But if I had already invested in that, let's say that was $100 of business cards and stationery and stuff. If writing that off as a loss would allow me to pick up one or two more
new customers,
not new customers, billable hours. Just a new customer with one billable hour in a month, or maybe at that point I was charging less. So 2 customers with one billable hour in a month or over 2 months. That's going to cover that lost expense, that investment that's out the window. So as a new business, you make these small dollar amount investments, and they feel kind of big to you because you're not really generating income yet. And it'd be a mistake to let that investment hold you back. Okay, so let's see, one more. Viv responds, "You're switching Carey working hours. That's how I watched so many of his live shows." Oh, switching to Carey's working hours. That's how I watched so many of his live shows. I'm not going to be doing all of mine later in the day, although that's available. I'm very attracted to 10 a.m. my time and 2 p.m. my time, but 4 p.m. works fine. I'm not going to be starting at 7 p.m. and doing late night shows that he does. That doesn't work. My body won't do that. So now let's go. Can we take the next topic about the additional method I want to suggest for picking up new clients?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when I was thinking about this for you or for anybody else, and this is something that I did in the past, my thinking of this, first I thought of my display advertisements that I put in our local newspaper. There was a local business publication and our local newspaper and our Chamber of Commerce publication. I paid for display ads in those. And I also did a classified advertisement in our newspaper. And I said, is part of the advertisement. No, I think I said talk is free, or no charge for phone conversation. The point there is giving away value for free. And the suggestion for you is to put in your early advertisements. Maybe you might say for the month of May, I will have my Zoom session open every Saturday at 7 p.m. or pick whatever daytime that you want to do weekly. If you have computer questions, just pop into the Zoom. It's no charge to talk. So some people, when they think about starting a new IT business, they're thinking, okay, pick up a new client. I want to charge them for any help I give them. And I'm saying, no, give away value for free. Give away services for free, especially in the beginning. So you do this, now we're in the computer age, right? You're not going to put an advertisement in the newspaper.
I might.
You might. You could advertise the session that way if you think people are looking at those. But it's pretty much free for you to open a Zoom session at a particular time of day and offer to help people free. And you can tell them you can call in to the Zoom session through your phone if you don't want to use a camera.
Yeah, you can turn off the camera.
Yeah, or you can also publish your phone number or just call if you don't want to do Zoom.
Yeah.
Now, even if they call into the Zoom session just on their phone, you want to have your camera on so that they can see you.
Me.
Because they need to see you. In my display advertisements in the newspaper, I always had my picture. Now, it's not because of vanity. It's because when somebody is looking at a business ad for my potential clients, they were going to be a small business or home user, and to see somebody's picture, they're going to feel more comfortable reaching out to that person than a display ad where a lot of small businesses try to give off the impression that they're a bigger company than they actually are, and I think that's a mistake. Unless that's really you're trying to serve those big businesses.
Big businesses. Yeah.
Okay. So this idea of giving away free support. There's a book I read recently, and I don't remember who recommended it to me. I think it was a commenter on one of my videos, but I'm not certain. It was called, you know what, I probably really, I should have, I listened to it on Audible.
No problem. So it should be close by.
Be quick for me to pull that name up because the name of the book is a little provocative.
All right.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I was not going to say this name right. The name of the book is Getting Naked. Okay. Now, this person did a branding thing. How are they going to... Is somebody that I want to reach going to look at the book titled Getting Naked? Well, that's kind of has a broad appeal. It's not... but it has a...
I would look at the cover and look at the back. If I saw the name, I'd look at the cover and the back.
Yeah, the name on the cover, it says Getting Naked, but the subtitle is A Business Fable About Shedding 3 Fears That Sabotage Client Loyalty. Now, it's kind of a long phrase. This is a book about business. It's not a book about nudity at all.
A business fable about shedding 3 fears that sabotage client loyalty?
Yeah. So they talk about 3 fears through a fable, through a story.
Yeah.
But one of the things that they do, the business involved here is a consulting business doing high-level consulting to large companies, various size companies. And there were 2 consulting companies that were in competition with each other.
Yeah.
And this smaller company was winning over a lot of the clients. The larger company, more sophisticated, more impressive, they were losing clients to the small company. And a person from the large company had the opportunity to go find out what these people are doing. And the surprising thing is that this company, when they go to pitch a new client, they do a lot of research about the new client. They develop proposals and draw and sheets and PowerPoints, and they do a lot of homework before going to make their pitch. This small company never did that at all. They barely knew the company's name. They would go meet with them, and in the first meeting with them, start providing value. Tell me what's going on with your business. And so they start talking about the business, and the business owner tells about problems, and the consultant just gives them a solution to that problem right there on the spot. Whereas this company tries to sell them on hiring their services, paying a retainer fee, and then getting value later after they do studies and research and try to come up with solutions. This company, they walk in almost cold, not knowing much about the business, and just start providing solutions. So this is what I'm saying for you to open your Zoom session. Come in and ask me questions. It's free to talk. Let me try to solve your problem just over this Zoom session. You're not trying to sell them on hiring you. You're just trying to give them solutions to their problems. And you have advertised that you're going to do this every Saturday at 7 p.m. for the month of May for a limited time period. And then, later, if they found your service of value, they can come back and hire you. Now, there's a couple other companies that started out with this business model of giving away their services free at the beginning. And both of these companies that I'm about to name, they didn't even know how they were going to monetize their businesses. And they eventually got investors to provide a lot of money for their businesses to grow, and they were still giving away everything for free. And their investors were asking, how are you going to monetize this? When are you going to start making money? And the business operators didn't have an answer because they were focused on providing value, providing their services free. Do you know the companies that I'm talking about?
Hotmail and Google or something?
I'm talking about Google and Facebook.
Okay.
But there's others. There's others that started out doing it for free. So it's a business model that works.
Yeah, it does.
Now, that book I referred to, the title Getting Naked and Shedding 3 Fears, I really didn't talk about those fears. Anybody that's interested in it, it's an excellent book. I highly recommend it. I found it very valuable, and I found that it actually substantiated a lot of how I'm already working, but it gave me the words to understand how I've been working, and also pointed out some areas where I need to do better.
That's where the rebranding coming from?
No, the rebranding was a separate issue.
Okay.
But anyway, so there's those two topics that I wanted to talk about: rebranding, and I wanted to talk about throwing out an idea towards you of finding some way. I don't know that it's through Zoom. You may have some other.
No, Zoom is great. Zoom. I mean, you're on point with Zoom. Trust me.
I think it's good.
Everybody use Zoom. Easy to use.
If you put any paid advertisement out there, I think it's a whole lot more effective to advertise free Zoom sessions than advertise a discounted hourly rate.
It's like you're reading me, guess what's going on, Doug? Guess what's going on? I'm not kidding you right now. My way to get customers right now, right? First things first, right? What I do is I have a messaging, I have a plan. So what I'm saying is that even for Romaine, I told her that I'm going to give her 70% off on her first bill, right? And then I'm asked, so she kind of jumped at that, she really ecstatic about that, and that's what I was planning to do. I was planning to give them 70% off on their first bill, and I also would give them a gift card for referring to a friend the same service for 70% off on their first bill, and then I plan to give them 30% off on their second bill. So I just giving them 100% off on 2 bills, but that's over the period of, you know. And then I wanted to do that for a while until I had like about 100 clients, and then I would stop doing it with the initial giveaway first thing to get the next client. But when I reached like 100, but that's what I was thinking about. What is like, and even for the rebranding, I was thinking about when you were saying it, I was thinking about getting. So I wanted to get my 2 hands, right? 2 hands like holding a computer or something that would represent a computer and it in a circle with the colors of Jamaica, like it look very Jamaican, so you know that this person is in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't. It's like you're reading me right now. I don't understand how you. It's like when you said that part about the servicing and giving away something for free. Because I was actually online. I was looking at. Sometimes I realize that this social media, that's like they read your mind, because if you talk about sometimes this is some ads. Somebody who's run a paid ad, but sometimes they get something in your feed, or the Cosmos just send you something, and if you're paying attention in the right way, you see, because I actually went on this guy's page on Instagram. He just started a page, and he had a paid ad where he was talking about he has this, he's trying to promote himself, but within his promotion, he's giving away some value, and the value that he gave away was that of giving away. So he says how you can build your business, right? There are 2 different ways you can build a business. One, you can spend a bag of money and try to get the clients, or he said, take for example a lady that does hair, right? What she does is the first time a client come in, she do them hair for free, right? And what them do is when them leave, she give them a gift voucher. So the next time you come, you get 20% off your hair. And she said, wait, before you go also, if you give this to a friend, and when they come, the first time they get their hair done for free. And after a while, the business keeps growing, because I don't know, person's going to recommend the friends, and who don't want to come and get a 20% discount and a free hairdo, you know? So I was just trying to apply it to my business model, where I said I'd give them 70% off on their first ticket, and then give them 30% off on the second one. And when they recommend a friend, the friend would get the same thing. And then yesterday I was on Instagram, right? I was on Instagram a lot. And then one of my friends, he sent me a live video. It was one of my friends from a long time, but he was playing music. But how he was streaming it to Instagram, but he's doing it from his phone. So I messaged him, I reached out to him, and I said, listen, my brother, I know how to help you to get your live stream from your computer to all those platforms, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And he reached out back to me, and he said, what you just said a while about the Zoom, I'm going to put him in a Zoom, right? And I'm going to show him how to do it. That's what I'm going to do. I was sending messages on Instagram, but what I'm going to do, what you say about the Zoom thing is excellent, and I'm going to use him to recommend one of his friends to, you know, come to get more Zoom and just see if we can keep it rolling like that. But yeah, I've got to say, Doug, yeah, big ups.
Great. So let me go check Zoom chat, and then we go on to maybe IP week.
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see what do we got. You sweet choirs there. Mike Paradin saying hello to all. Hi, hello, Mike. Glad to have you here. For all of you, really thrilled to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. Let's see. It looks like it's either 11 or 14 concurrent viewers. It's
14 I'm seeing here.
Shows me 2 different places. 14 you're seeing? Yeah, that's right. YouTube is showing 14. And then let's see. Greg Guy, hello, Doug, and all in chat from St. Mary's County, Maryland. Hello to you, Greg. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Okay, so and now let me get out. I guess I have already mentioned tomorrow's session with Carey, haven't I?
But it was earlier in the time, so I think you could say it
again.
Okay.
So yeah, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Carey Holzman is going to be with us. He's going to connect to my computer. My computer is going to be connected to Tim Sowell's computer. And Carey is going to take a stab at trying to fix the undeletable folder problem that Tim is having. So I was totally thrilled over the moon when Carey told me he was interested in doing that as a collaboration video together. And so that is scheduled for tomorrow. So just inviting people to show up for that.
Yeah, I'll be checking that out.
Okay, now you had an interesting week or big week, or you called it fun, I think. I think that has to do about IP week, intellectual property.
Yes.
Tell us, what was all that about?
All right, so everyone, so I work for the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office. We are the only intellectual property registration and enforcement office in Jamaica, where every brand, every patent, every intellectual property right is enforced and registered at the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office. So YouTube copyright strikes, personal vendettas with persons who have artists who sampling the songs. We get involved in all of the big court cases. We have to be called to make, yes, we do. So when there's any problem with any infringement, whether at the port, so we are heavily involved with the customs. So any product coming into the country has to be registered at our office, or else they're going to flag it at customs. Everything that is shipped into the country, we're a very, 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 very key part of the economy, because everything that is traded has to have a trademark, have to have IP, it have to be protected under IP. So we are very important. So we had our IP week. We have our annual IP week. We have IP week every year where we try to educate the community, the Jamaica community, the diaspora about what we do and the importance of intellectual property rights protection. And what we focused on this year was the MSMEs, so the micro, small, medium enterprises. And I was learning something that to be considered an MSME, right, you have to be making $15 million a year. So I have to congratulate and big up my MSMEs. You know, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. And if you're watching this, anyway, you're watching this, big up yourself as an MSME. Doug, you're an MSME, big up yourself. You're a medium, small enterprise, or somebody working for yourself, generating your own money, and you contribute to the tax. You pay taxes out of that money. So you have to big up yourself. Persons like you who we were focusing on. We had a week of activities. I'm just going to pull up the page so I can just tell you about the week of activities that we had. We had different activities. So initially we started off with the UNESCO World Book on Copyright Day, right? Where we spoke about copyright, and copyright is not just music. You have different types of copyright. You have artists draw, and you have persons that write. We also have rights with, let's say we were speaking about how would disabled persons get access to books, because that's a very serious thing, you know. Somebody who is blind, right? How would they get access to? Because everything is for the sighted and the regular persons. How would they get access? So we're speaking about the Marrakesh Treaty. We're speaking about how you would basically reproduce a work in such a way that somebody who is blind can have access to it. And they were talking about how you would police this. And then the blind person said, one of my friends said, so when a normal person, right, going to purchase a book, right, a book online, them not prove say them normal, them just buy the book. You understand me? I said, what I must say is when time the books are reproduced in a way for a person who have not sight, when you reproduce that book, how can you prove say you have sight? And my brother say, why you need to prove say you have sight? Because when you have sight, you need to prove say you have sight when you buy a book, whether it's audible or not. You need to prove say you're blind or not blind when you buy a book. So why you need to prove that if you're going to use a system were designed to give you access? And that's a big thing. So we're going to move on. That was UNESCO World Book on Copyright Day. After we had UNESCO World Book on Copyright Day, we had our IP Week church service. Now, guys, I was streaming this live. And we have a big problem here where most of the churches, right, they play YouTube during the service. This is a big problem for me. Yeah, because I was streaming live, right? I never realized this, and my streams got taken down big IP office get flagged for IP violation. So what I learned, right, so this is the first time I was actually broadcasting live like that. What I learned is that you always have a backup. So what you do, you have a backup scene or anytime, anything like that, and you press it and everything changes to just the pliers for the week and no sound and boom. So I figured that out and I started that out. We had a lovely church service. You know, they were speaking about IP and how we actually had a seminar. We have a something called the JIPO webinar series where we have different webinars speaking about different things. And one of our webinar series was actually about copyright and the church, speaking about how the church could go about not infringing on copyright. One of the ways I would suggest, don't quote me on this, I am not I just work in the IT department, but what I would say is that nobody's not going to knock you for singing over the song. What they knock you for is when you play the YouTube song. You understand? So if you sing over the song during your service, nobody not gonna knock you. But if you have somebody YouTube video where them do all that work in a play, then I'm gonna shut it down. So we had the church service and it was a very exciting church service. We had a big turnout. And all of these days are on our YouTube channel. The JIPO channel is on YouTube. So all of the days are on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. We're on most of them. The second, so our third day, we had JIPO World IP Day launch and World IP Day launch. So we had two things on World IP Day. And World IP Day is a big thing all over the world, but JIPO has a whole IP week. So we're taking it for the whole week. So there's basically a UNESCO book copyright day and we have World IP Day. And after that, they finish, but JIPO have IP week for the whole week. And we had an opening ceremony for the World IP Day launch, where my executive director, Ms. Lily Claire Bellamy, she did the greetings. And we had Christiana, we have a representative from the EU IPO, the European Union IPO office. And we had also Debbie Salmon, our chairman for our board, our advisory board, because JIPO is led by an advisory board that gives us direction and guidance and basically how we would go about making, because everybody needs advice. And then we had Darren Chang, the general director of WIPO, bringing greetings. We had the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Minister Audley Shaw. And we had our own Chantal English launching the copyright competition, because we had a successful copyright competition where we had the young children, because we wanted to get them interested in copyright. They had them write essays about what IP is and to them. And we had 3 age range and we had first place, second. So we had like 9 different prizes and we had big competition. That was last year. We're going to do it this year again, Miss English. And the information, all of those things are on our website and also on our social media, because we put those things on it. And then after we had the launch, we had a webinar, and the webinar for World IP Day was directed by our own Deputy Director, Dr. Marcus Goff, right? And he's our legal counsel. And he had Mr. Oral Shaw he's the Principal Director of the MSME division in our ministry, the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. And we had Miss Simara Howell, she's the Executive Director of the JMEA. And we had Miss Manes. We had a representative from Africa, Miss Manes, who is doing great things. Can't pronounce her last name, but she's the Managing Director of Lakeshore Agro-Process Enterprises in Lilongwe, Malawi. And we had Miss Rachel Jones. She's the founder of Snapdragon Monitoring Limited. What Rachel did, what Miss Malawi does is she does farming and refining. She has a process that she does. And what Miss Rachel does is she does IP enforcement. How she does this is that IP has to be registered at a registry, for example, like JIPO. And what she does is you have to publish your IP in a journal every month. So what she does is she would do like a Google where she scours the internet for IP. And then if your IP is in an infringing place, let's say, for example, you have a book and it's published and it's somewhere that is not on your list of places that it should be, you can say to them, hey, this is registered IP. Please take it down. This is my certificate, or this is my copyright, and they would take it down. But to police IP is a lot. I know I'm saying a lot, and I still have a few more days to go. I
No,
see no.
no. Wait. You have a few more days to go. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to.
I see you overloading up.
Here's what we know, Bertland. Here's what we know. I think I'm speaking on behalf of us. You had an incredible week.
Yeah, it was great. It was
and
great.
You've got this much to share.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed already. I can't take a few more days of it. Time out.
Yeah.
Let's have you read the last comment in chat.
Yes.
And respond to it briefly.
Okay.
Briefly.
Very interesting. Are there copyrights on software? Yes, there is. So how you'd copyright your software is you'd come and you'd make a deposit of that software to the registry. Or what you normally do, you have a thing called, because copyright is like wonderful. Copyright is great because to copyright anything, let's say for example your software, right? Put it on a CD, burn it on a CD, a DVD, put it in an envelope, send it to yourself through the mail. Do not open that envelope. Keep that envelope closed. Poor man's copyright. When anytime you're in any problem with anyone, and you have that envelope, the envelope will have on a stamp on it, which is through the government registered mail system, which is like gold right there, so brother. You see, once you never open that envelope and you carry that letter go to the court have to accept it as evidence because it have them thing on it, have a government thing on it. And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna open the envelope. And guess what got up on the CD? The CD have the date time when you write information on it, more than likely. You understand? And
yeah.
If you can prove your authenticity before someone else, like you're the creator from you need clear your copyright safe and you'd be in good water.
Let me rephrase that back. Copyright. The part you use the
poor man's
copyright. It's free. There's no paperwork. You don't have to do anything with a government office. You're just a way to prove that you had this on a certain date is to mail it to yourself, sealed in an envelope, so it gets postmarked with the date. You don't open the envelope, and that will serve as proof that you had that in your possession at that certain date, and therefore you created it. So is something copyrighted? If the creator says it's copyrighted, it's copyrighted. You can put a notice on there. You can have a way to substantiate and prove that later if it becomes needed. So and then that protects you. You can go ahead and start selling that. And if somebody tries to cheat by stealing your stuff, you can prove that you had it first.
Here's a crazy story. All right, so you know most of the Premier League sides, right? You know that most of them changed their logos recently.
The what?
The Premier League football teams.
Premier League football teams. Okay, there were a lot of changes to logos, yeah.
Yeah, you know why? They couldn't find the original IP owners. They couldn't find the original IP.
Oh, okay.
They couldn't find the original trademarks, and they couldn't find the original trademarks.
All right.
So they had to change. They had to change them.
Oh,
because they couldn't prove that they own them. So they had to change them because what happened is I could open up a sports store and put that logo on my thing, and it would be a big hullabaloo in court because they don't have the original trademarks to say, yo, I'm violating their trademark. And sports merchant memorabilia is not
okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. I need to circle back around to our first topic about rebranding because I just realized I left out one of the most significant rebranding examples from my experience. So this has to do with rebranding of these videos that you and I have been doing for the last few weeks.
Yes.
I came to realize that I had them branded wrong.
Yes.
And you already noticed that, and some people on the video now may have noticed that. So to talk that through, I'm going to bring us up on my computer number 2 over here.
Yes.
And I'm going to go to up here in the upper right corner, I'm going to click on the kebab menu and choose new incognito window. The only reason I'm going to incognito window is so that this YouTube doesn't recognize my account. Then I'm going to go to YouTube.com.
Yes.
And up here in the search field, I'm going to type Live Windows Training. Now, if you type it without spaces, it will suggest my channel. If you put spaces between the words, it's going to offer some other things.
Okay.
So I'm going to click on that for Live Windows Training right here. It came up with that suggestion.
Yes.
And that's going to show it's got some other things that are not associated with me. All I'm trying to do is get to my channel icon here. So I can click on this channel icon and it takes me into my channel page. So because I did this from an incognito, you're seeing the way it would show up on your computers, somebody else's computers. So this is the home tab that we're looking at now. There's the video tabs that you can go to peruse through my videos, but playlists. I want to get to this playlist. Now I have a bunch of playlists in here already.
Yes.
And here's the one, Bertland Mentoring Sessions.
Yes.
I came to realize that is a horrible name. Totally off-brand. It's not right for what these videos are.
That is true.
Who would be interested in that playlist name? What type of person would be interested in that? In my mind, I think it's somebody who has decided that they want to learn how to be a mentor.
Not necessarily. Probably my fan base is huge.
No, come on. Stay with me. Stay with me for my reasoning.
Okay, sorry.
Bertland Mentoring Sessions. When somebody sees that, they could be thinking, am I mentoring him through some kind of psychological crisis? Am I mentoring him through high school? They got no idea the content of these actual videos. Now, the people that I actually want to see this title and want to come look at it would be people who are interested in starting their own IT business.
Yes.
Isn't that what we're actually doing here?
Yes.
This is about your pursuit of starting your IT business, and that pursuit began before you sent an email to me asking me to mentor you.
Yeah.
I mean, you sent that email and I just said, oh, okay, this is mentoring. And I just used that word without thinking it through. But really a better name for these videos, for this playlist and each of the videos is along the lines of what I named it today.
Starting IT business.
There you go. Starting IT business. And then with Bertland.
And in Jamaica.
That would be for people who have already seen some of your videos, recognizing that is who this is. Yes. And then in Jamaica, I think that's a fascinating thing for people in the U.S. that are wanting to start their IT business. I don't think it's off-putting at all that this is in a different country. You're still looking at the same issues, how to get new clients.
Yes.
I mean, wow, that's the big one. And you've already got a new a client. So I'm expecting... Yeah. When you sent the email, tell me you there was excitement just all through your email.
Romaine.
Getting your first client.
For nothing, Romaine, me and Romaine together to the end. To the end. Yeah,
great. So probably later today, or it might be tomorrow, I'm going to rename that playlist, and I'm going to go back and rename each of those prior videos. Now, you do, in relation to the question asked earlier about changing the channel name, I can change the name of the video and I don't lose the viewers. That'll work just fine. So I'm going to rename them all similar to what today's video is. Starting IT business. Now, I kind of wordsmithed that a little bit. I had a little bit longer. I had a little bit more verbose. But then I thought, because I had the word computer instead of IT,
Mm-hmm.
and it
But
makes the
computer is
name
long.
it makes the name too long to show up
Yeah.
on some of the screens where people will see them. But
Yeah.
if somebody is wanting to start a computer support business, they know the term IT.
They do.
Starting an IT business, they know that's computers.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. So starting IT business, that sounds like it would meet the specific audience that those videos are designed for. Let's see. So catching up on chat. Okay, then Viv says, I wish I had known this before. Maybe that had to do with how to protect the copyright thing.
Yeah.
And then Tim says, can right protect
Copyright
you?
protect you
Copyright
98
protect
years
you
after you pass. So he was telling you about
98.
how long your copyright lasts after you
Okay.
die.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's saying that it does protect you
Yeah.
98 years after you
After
pass
you
away.
pass. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. So like artist music and so it's because it speaks to it's a big industry. Copyright protecting royalties, artist royalties, a serious thing. Masters and them things, a serious thing in the music industry, in the creative space is a big thing, man. Trust me.
Let me show one other thing while I'm on this page of my playlists.
Sure.
There's this playlist down here. Notice that the thumbnail is kind of handwritten.
Yeah.
Green
Master
handwriting.
enter user content, master, copyright, copy paste.
And then over here, this advanced user list, it's also handwritten on that
clean
thumbnail.
keyboard. Yeah.
And then this list over here for technician content is also handwritten.
Handwritten. Yeah.
What I want to point about those is if you want to see how I started, those are my early videos when I was doing that. And I went and looked at one of those the other day and I thought, oh my gosh. I
have grown.
I've grown a bit. And like I think Carey has said on his channel, he's got his old videos up. And then there's also my personal channel that has even older videos up. So,
can I point something out before you move on? Also, persons, I want to take a look at how Doug does his thumbnails. If you realize that even in the playlist, right, you can see what the video is about. You see, when you have like 5 videos in the playlist, it shows you a great thing, but to the left, free tech help in green, and then below blue and white. And blue is a color that you should use a primary color, like primary. I like how you use the primary colors with the white. I don't know if that was on purpose, how you had the thing set up with the left side. Most of it is the text is visible and your image is on the right, because initially you had it opposite and you changed it. You realize?
Well, actually, let's. It's better to describe that over here on the videos tab. So up here, I'm going to click on videos. Because those thumbnails you were seeing on the playlist, it's picking one of the thumbnails of one of the videos in the list.
Yes.
But here, now the image isn't always on the left. The image, the tech tails, it's always laid out kind of the same. And that was a branding thing. I figured when people see that layout and see tech tails, they know what they're getting.
Yes.
That's that style of video. And then when it's where I have a second person with me, our pictures are on the right. And so you always see me in the bottom right and the person that's in the session with me in the upper right. Yeah. And then the big white letters on blue is intended to be visible even when you got a little tiny thumbnail. But when you're able to see the thumbnails larger, then you can see the other
2 pictures.
Supplemental text.
Yeah. Free computer support, live Windows support, live support sessions.
Yeah, so then there's this other type of video under my cursor, under my arrow right now, Windows Fix Tip. That's a new series, and I've only done one of those so far. Yeah. And so those are intended to be short videos on just a specific tip of how to do something.
Okay.
And then, so it has a little different layout, yet the same primary colors are there.
Yeah.
And so that's a branding thing to use a layout, a color scheme, something that is consistent between all of them, but each different type of video has its own basic foundation layout. So that was all branding concepts.
So tech tales, some of the tech tales have the where it will have the second person, you have the tech tales and the number, and then below it you have the topic and you build up a work.
Yeah, Tech Tales is only me.
Yeah.
And the support sessions, the live Windows support sessions, where I'm actually working with somebody over Zoom. They don't have numbers because they're not sequential.
Yeah.
You know, when they're sequential, like over here on the playlist.
Yes.
Like for Harold, I got to put the mouse above this. For Harold's laptop sleep problem, there's 5 videos with Harold. Yes. And I should rename that playlist because not all of those videos are about his sleep problem because we just installed a new SSD in his computer. Okay. We did that live. So that should go into Harold's laptop playlist, maybe I'll call it. Because anything to do with Harold, I think, is going to go into that playlist. There's Tim's undeletable folders below my arrow. Yes. So tomorrow's session is going to go into that playlist.
Nice.
Where we're all hoping that Carey will actually solve that issue. Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about there? I want to go back to our Zoom session. Okay, so let's come back to our Zoom session. I think we probably should be wrapping this up.
All right.
1 hour, 16 minutes.
New record. That was a new record, guys.
That's our new record.
New record, guys. We're doing this.
Let's see. Here's a couple more in chat. Okay, so guard tactic, very true time. Tim Sowell, I use it for my photography business. What's he referring to that he refers to uses this in photography business?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's copyright. I don't know. It's maybe copyright.
Yeah, it's probably copyright. Yeah, I think he does. And then Ed Nup now. Ed, I want to learn how to pronounce your last name right. Ed now. So if you can give me a hint. So he says, seeing mentoring on a video wouldn't mean the same thing to each one looking for this specific topic. Okay. Agreed. I think he's supporting what we were saying.
Yeah, he is.
Mentoring wouldn't mean the same. Yeah. And Viv says, how about starting an IT support business in case the casual searching does not think about it is about hardware support. I've read that wrong. How about starting an IT support business in case the casual searching does not think it is about hardware support? Okay. So instead of starting IT business, somebody might think that's about hardware. And she's suggesting, I think, starting IT support business. So she's adding the word support. Instead of starting IT business, starting IT support business. That is more specifically what you're pursuing.
Doing. Exactly.
So she's saying on these videos, instead of starting IT business, say starting IT support business. I like that.
I like it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good call, Viv.
Thank you.
Tim confirms copyright is what he was referring to. John Lewis, hello from Brazil. Well, hello, John.
Yeah,
glad to have
big
you
up.
Here. Thank you for interesting video, he says, and it looks like we got 13 watching, and we're about to wrap it up now.
Yeah.
Do you have any final short thoughts, Bertland?
I just want to tell everyone, thank you for checking out Doug's channel today, and thank you for checking out the series. And I just want to tell Doug, big up. You know, Doug, you really really been an inspiration to me. You know, everything you said has been so on point and you're so honest. I must tell you, I appreciate all of the support you've been giving me. I must big up to my bridging Mark David for putting your video in the group that we're in. I keep saying it, you have to big up my bridging because that man was the person that led me to you. And it's just been great things ever since. I just wanted to thank you again for your time. Big up to everybody from Jamaica. This is Bertland, and that's for me.
All right. Well, you're certainly totally welcome, Bertland.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go ahead and end the Zoom session. I'll do a short wrap up on the video. And
Yes.
are we tentatively on again for next week, same time?
Yes, we are. And I'll have some updates for you. I'll work on most of those things, especially the rebranding. So I'll do a new logo with the computer life support with the hands that you're holding, things that would represent a computer to person. So I'll do a few different mock-ups and we can probably run through those.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Boy, that idea you pitched there with you holding a computer in your hands, that just sounds warm, personal support, life support. Wow. Yeah, I've got a warm fuzzy over that.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Here we go. Ending the Zoom session. Wave goodbye. 3, 2, 1. Click. Click. All right. So that's it with this session with Bertland. Thank you all so very much for being here. Let's see. I see Tad. Hello from Brazil. Interesting. Then Viv says, Tim, is it your undeletable file? Yeah. Yes, it is. Ed, many times Carey has the same issue where he starts with a specific topic, ends with something else. And Viv says, great show. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you. And what I'm really needing more of is for people to send me an email at this address, DougBetts@LiveWindowsTraining.com, so that they can come into a Zoom session with me, and if appropriate, let me connect remotely to their computer and help with whatever issues you've got going on your Windows-based computer. So with that said and done, I hope this video has been enjoyable and helpful to you. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.